Every single day you wake up, buy things, pay bills, scroll through prices, and you never stop to ask, why does the whole world use the American dollar? Why does a farmer in India, a factory owner in China, a trader in Nigeria? Why do they all need dollars? It's not an accident. It's not because America is just that good. It's because of a system, a deal made behind closed doors over 50 years ago. A deal so powerful it shaped every war, every economic crisis, every sanction you've ever heard of. It's called the Petrodollar System, and once you understand it, you'll never look at the world the same way again. Imagine you're playing a board game with your friends, and somehow you get to decide what the official currency of the game is. Not just your piece of the board, but the whole game. Every player has to earn your currency to buy anything. That's essentially what America did. But instead of a board game, it was the entire global economy. And instead of fake money, it was oil. The petrodollar is basically a global agreement where oil, the world's most important commodity, is bought and sold only in US dollars. Not euros, not yuan, not gold, dollars. And because every country in the world needs oil, every country in the world needs dollars. And that one simple rule gave America an economic superpower that no army could ever match. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to 1944. World War II is almost over. The world is exhausted and broken, so 44 nations gathered in a small town in New Hampshire called Bretton Woods and made a deal. Every country's currency would be tied to the US dollar, and the US dollar would be tied to gold. America promised the world, you give us dollars, we give you gold. Simple, clean, trusted. And for 2 decades it worked, but then cracks appeared. America was spending massively on the Vietnam War, on social programs, on everything. And countries, especially France, started getting nervous and said, actually, we want our gold back. Gold was rushing out of America's vaults, and President Nixon faced a nightmare. So in 1971, on a Sunday night, Nixon went on national television and told the world that America was off the gold standard. Just like that. No more gold backing, no more promise. The dollar was just paper. And this moment called the Nixon Shock and left the global financial system with no foundation. Every country panicked, and America needed a new plan fast. Enter Henry Kissinger, Nixon's Secretary of State, who flew to Saudi Arabia and made a deal that would quietly reshape the entire world. America would protect Saudi Arabia with military protection, weapons, backing, and security. And in return, Saudi Arabia would sell its oil only in US dollars and invest its extra oil profits back into American treasury bonds. And in 1974, the deal was sealed. OPEC followed Saudi Arabia's lead. The entire oil market now ran on dollars, and the petrodollar was born. Now think about what this actually means. Every country needs oil to function. Oil runs factories, flies planes, moves ships, heats homes, and powers economies. And to buy that oil, you need dollars, so countries export their goods, their labor, their resources just to earn dollars, not to spend on American products necessarily, but just to exist in the global economy, creating what economists call artificial demand for the dollar. And that gives America a power that's almost impossible to overstate. America can print more dollars without instantly destroying its economy, because the world absorbs those dollars, and countries holding dollars also buy American government bonds, essentially lending money to America so it can borrow cheaply and almost endlessly to fund its military, its influence, its global presence. And if a country ever steps out of line, America can cut them off from the dollar system, because no dollar access means no oil, no trade, no economy. The dollar isn't just a currency. It's a weapon. When oil prices spike globally, it's often because the dollar changed, not the oil. When America raises its interest rates, countries like India, Brazil, and Argentina see their currencies crash. Their debt gets more expensive. Imports cost more. Inflation rises. People suffer, all because of decisions made in Washington. And the 2008 financial crisis that destroyed millions of lives worldwide started in American banks. But because the whole world was tied to the dollar, the whole world collapsed with it. American banks made the mess, and the world paid the price. And Iraq's Saddam Hussein said in 2000 he would sell Iraqi oil in euros. And a few years later, America invaded Iraq, and Libya's Gaddafi proposed a gold-backed African currency to free African nations from the dollar. And he was overthrown and killed. Now history is complicated, and these aren't the only reasons. But you'd have to be very naive to think it's just a coincidence. And here's what's happening right now. Countries are getting tired of playing by America's rules, tired of holding dollars that lose value, tired of being vulnerable to American sanctions, and slowly they're building an exit. China and Russia have been trading oil in Chinese yuan. Saudi Arabia, America's original petrodollar partner, has started accepting yuan for oil sales to China. Let that sink in. The country that started the petrodollar deal is quietly stepping away from it. The BRICS nations are actively working to reduce dollar dependence with talk of a new BRICS currency, new payment systems being built to bypass the SWIFT dollar network, and gold reserves being stacked by central banks worldwide at rates not seen since the 1960s. The dollar is still dominant, still trusted, still everywhere. But the monopoly, the unquestioned, unchallenged dominance that is cracking. And when it fully shifts, the world will look very, very different. The petrodollar system was never taught to you in school. It wasn't in your textbooks, but it shaped almost everything: the price of your food, the value of your currency, the wars your parents watched on TV, the countries that were sanctioned, the leaders who were removed, the global order you were born into. All of it connected to one deal made between two governments in 1974. And now the world is changing. New alliances are forming. New systems are being built. And the question isn't just what happens to the dollar. The question is who decides what comes next. Will it be more transparent, more fair, or will it just be a new version of the same game with different players holding the power? Because the people who don't ask that question are the ones the system is designed to control. And the people who do ask it, they're the ones who just might change it. So I have a question for you. What do you think what will happen? If this petrodollar system breaks, share your opinion in the comments, like this video, and subscribe my channel to support me. Thanks for watching.